Springtime also means maintenance on all of my plants. Today, I am repotting and pulling apart an overgrown plant and putting it into separate pots. One plant becoming a whole bunch of new plants, and potting up some brand new ones I just bought. That's all coming up on today's Wise Guide. Along with my normal spring work I have in my yard, with the flower beds and the vegetable gardens, this is also the time that I kind of refurbish all the plants I have saved over throughout the winter. I save a lot of plants, and most of them are in the agave family or the aloe family because I just kind of love all those plants. After a long winter, a lot of the agave and aloe plants I save have become overgrown, or I also buy new ones kind of all the time, and they need to be repotted so they can be ready to grow and start babies of their own, because I love when an agave has babies because then you can just have tons of them and put them everywhere. I have a little bit of a plant problem, especially outside, but today I'm going to show you all the maintenance tricks I have. This aloe has definitely become overburdened. The pot is starting to bulge in certain places and there are a lot of roots in there. So you can split this up and make a lot of plants out of this. This kind of goes for any house plant or other plants you may have. Aloes love to grow like this, so do agave, and I like to split them up. One, it's good for the plant because it's becoming overgrown and is soon going to crowd out itself and start rotting. And two, you can get multiple plants this way, and they look better in the pot when they're single. To start, I just like to take it out of the pot it's in. As you can see, there are so many plants in here. I just look for the natural separation in the plant. You can see all the multiple plants there are in here. Slowly pull the plants apart and look for the roots and make sure that they're all attached. Don't worry, this is a lot easier than it looks, and I think it freaks a lot of people out because you think you're killing the plant. You're not. This is very good for it. Just keep pulling it away and separate all the plants apart. There's some really little ones, some larger ones. This way you can really see what you have and what you have to work with. While I do this, I make sure to remove any dead or rotten pieces too. Sometimes when they are so smashed in there, some of the leaves or stems can get kind of rotten and gross, so just pull them off. This is also a good time to clip any of the flower stems there might still be. These are dried, crusty, honestly they're kind of ugly, just nip them off. Once you can see all your plants, you can start deciding what pots you want to put them in. Aloes and agave and a lot of plants don't like to be overburdened with a huge pot. I've definitely learned this where I've killed quite a few plants because I put them in a huge pot and it's a small plant thinking, oh, it's just going to grow. No, it's a little too much for it, honestly, so it's best to keep them somewhat more contained and go up just a little bit from the size of the plant. I always start with the biggest one first because it's kind of the good plant that you have in there and the mother plant. I put that in a pot all by itself. Make sure its roots are nice and spread out and they're not too tightly in there and wound together. And then just fill it up with a good potting soil. I like to sometimes use just a mixture of the old pine soil that the plant was in with a little bit of new and fresh just to give it a little bit of refurbishment. Put it in around the roots, pack it in slightly but not too tight because air circulation is really important for plant roots too. Yes, they need oxygen just like we do. They are a living thing. Once you have that soil pressed in there, you can just wipe off the sides and you're ready to go. Then you can just start looking through all the other plants you have and deciding how many you want to pot up. Obviously, this one could have quite a few plants. Like, it looks like I'm kind of trying to start like an aloe farm. I'm not, but I do love them. So I just keep repotting them. Along with plant maintenance of splitting them and putting them in new pots, sometimes I just like to obviously buy new plants. When you buy a new plant, you can keep it in the plastic pot for quite a while, but it's not good for long term. So I just have a huge amount of all these different sized terracotta pots and I like to pot them right up. This is good to do if you're gonna buy a brand new house plant or just a new annual that you're gonna put outside. So let's pot them up. See how easy that was? Once they're potted up, you're good to go and you have a whole season of beautiful growth that can start on these plants. I like the textures and looks of agave, aloe, and all the like, but whatever you like, this is gonna work for you too. Potting up and spring maintenance on your plants is really important. They can become overgrown, especially if they're happy and healthy. That means they're gonna keep growing and getting bigger, so they're gonna need some work done on them. Once you clean them up, they are gonna be happy, more healthy, and ready for a beautiful season ahead. Make sure to ask me all of your plant questions. I love to hear from you, and make sure you are having your garden grow well. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, get out there and start gardening.